In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you a few critical Excel skills. So I've got an Excel basic sheet open. This is sheet 1. So this is just as it opens up. I'm going to click in cell A1 and type number 1. And then I'm going to tab our arrow over to the next one and do number 2. I've got 2 numbers here. What I can do now is I can highlight these 2. And if I want more numbers, it will do this for me. Notice it goes number 3, and I grab the lower right-hand corner, 4, 5, and I'm just going to do 5 numbers, and I'm going to put some numbers in these columns. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fairly simple. These will be more random, and just put some numbers, whatever you want in there. And they don't have to be small ones. It can be 99, 122, 32, 49, 65, something like that. And then we'll put some numbers in this 5th one. And just arrow up to that cell. And we can do 98, 213. I'm just doing any numbers, whatever comes to mind, whatever my fingers hit. I've got these numbers, and I want to do this. Maybe I want to do in this row 7, I want to do a total. So I'm going to put total. And in the next row, I want to do the average. And in the next row, I want to do maybe the minimum. What's the smallest number? And the max. Excuse me. So, and then just to put some lines under these, I'm going to click into this cell, A6, and I'm going to hold and I'm just going to highlight all of these cells. I want to put a line underneath those cells so that I know that the things above are my numbers, and then my total, average, min, and max are below that line. So if I sneak up on the font, this drop down, and I can click bottom border. That's the one I want, bottom border. And I can do a thick bottom border too. And that'll just be even bigger. So we'll do that. When I click off of here, you notice there's a bottom border there. So now I'm going to do total or sum. Well, to do these, there's a very simple icon on your home page over here. This is sum. And if I click on this, it will do the sum, but there's a drop down here also. It defaults to sum if I just click on the icon. If I want an average, I have to use the drop down, or count the numbers, or max, or min. I have to use the drop downs. We won't get into more functions today. We're just going to do sum, average, max, and min. So I'm in this cell, and I'm going to say sum. So I'll just click on sum. And Excel makes a selection. It says, I think this is what you want. I looked at, and there's some numbers above where I am, and I think you want to add those up. And I look at the little marching ants, and I go, those are the correct numbers. I hit enter. Now, I've got that for this cell, and it's for, in here, the total is 15 from A2 through A6. Here's A2, here's A6. If I want to add all of these up, get a total for all of them, I can copy this down and watch what happens. If I just sneak up on that little green square at the lower right hand corner, when I get the little black X or cross, I left click, hold, and I just drag. And notice what it did. This is column A, it's adding up column A. Notice it moved, it went to column B. It knows it's in column B, and it knows it wants to add up column B. C, D, and E. So it's good like that. Now we're going to do an average, and this is going to be a little bit more time consuming because it's not quite as simple. Excel picks numbers it thinks you want, but it makes mistakes. So I'm going to do my drop down here, and I'm going to select average. And notice how Excel picked this number 15, which is our total. We don't want that in our average. That's our total. Our average we want of our 5 basic numbers. So what I do is I just click maybe in the top cell, put my cursor, my big fat white cross in the center, left click, hold, and drag to the numbers that should be in there, A2 to A6 again. We always want A2 to A6 for this first column. I hit enter, and now I can copy this down. If I double click on this, let's see if it goes the right way. If I put this here and double click on it, did it do anything? No, it went the wrong way. So I've got to go back. I'm going to have to just click one time and hold and drag down. So now we have the average, and if I go here, it's in cell E, and the average here is 204.8. Now I want the smallest number, and again, Excel is going to pick some numbers, but it's going to get them wrong, and I have to correct it. So I do my drop down, I do min, it's got the wrong numbers, so I just click in the first cell that I want and hold, and then drag down to get only the cells that need to be in there. Again, 2 through 6. I hit enter. Now I click on, and that's, the minimum number, the smallest number is 1. If this one, the smallest number will be 0. So we could just kind of do a sanity check on that. If I click on my lower right-hand corner and hold and then drag, I will get the smallest number, the min number for each of these. 0, 0, 32, and this one would be 23. The maximum number. So I click where I want my answer. I do my drop down. I select max. It picks them wrong. I can also start at the bottom. I can select here my 5. Left click, hold, and drag. And then there I've got A2 through A6, which is what I want. I hit enter. And then I can hold and drag this over to the right. So practice this, and you'll get those. If I am here, maybe I want the total, the row total. I want the total of row 2. So I'm going to put that here. And maybe I should put some lines on the left. I'm going to highlight these and see what I can do on the left of this cell. If there's anything on the left, right border, left border, let's do that one. Now I've got a left border, so that'll tell me total row. If I click here, I can do total, and it will make a selection it thinks is right, and I go, that's true. A2 through E2. And then we're going to do row 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I just hit enter. And here is what I'm doing it going down. I can double click on this. I could hold this and drag it, or I could double click on this. And that will give me A3, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6 totals. So I've got those. I can save this. Don't forget to save your work. So this is one thing I wanted to show you. Another thing is sooner or later you're going to have 2 dates. So we'll go start date and tab over and end date. And I'm going to put a date in here. Let's go 1/1/2021. And let's say this ends on 10/15/21. Number days. How many days is that? Because you will want that a lot of times. So we're going to select the biggest date, the most recent date. I'm sorry, we're going to select the old date from the most recent date and get a number. So if I go enter, remember when you're doing an equation by yourself, you always have to start it out with enter. If I don't hit the enter, Excel is going to think you're just typing text. So I enter equals, let's do the big one. Sorry, I had that wrong. The most recent date minus this date. That's 287 days. And how does Excel do this? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these, and because I want to show you something, I'm going to paste these, Control-C, Control-V. I've got these dates. I'm going to hit escape. See this date? Excel turns every date into a number, and it's actually subtracting numbers for 287. So if I right-click on this cell, and I format cells, and I turn that into a number, which it really is, I do a number, and I can do no zeros, and go OK. This is 44,197. Here, I can right-click on it. Come on. Right-click. Jumping away from me. OK. I'll sneak up on Format Cells. I will make that a number. No zeros. Oops, wrong way. And I can either use comma separators if I wish. 44,484 days, 44,000. And to put comma separators here, I can watch me sneak up on the comma and put it there. Up, and it also puts some zeros in there. So I've got to right click on this, do format cells. I would just want to make rid of these zeros go away. There, no zeros. So what I have is Excel, the very first day of the world for Excel is 1/1/1900. This is day one. If I right click on this and say, what is the number associated with January 1, 1900, it's going to go 1, and no zeros, 1. So Excel, when you put a date in, it really holds a number. And it shows you the date, but it's got a number it's using, and it's a subtract two numbers and you get a number. So remember that. I can save this, and I'm not sure if there's anything else I wanted to do. I might be able to turn this into a cute little, well, let's try, let's see, insert page layout. What would I want to try to do with this? Let's do view. Probably nothing at the moment, but we can do something like that at a later date. For now, we've got a lot of minutes into this, so I think I'll stop there. This will give you enough to get started, especially with some of your work.